I saw a deer today.
A what?
It dashed out of the mountains and then just ran right across the fairway.
Fuck a deer. Fuck a deer dashing out of the mountains and running across the fairway. Fuck Palm Springs. Fuck the desert. Fuck golf. Fuck me.
Does that mean I should start getting ready for dinner?
Hey everybody, it's the Cannon Cruisers. I'm JD.
And I'm Randy, and we're back with our summer sports special with the 1988 American golf classic film, Dead Solid Dead Solid Perfect.
That was not a solid read or a perfect one.
No, my tongue literally tripped over it, kind of like Randy Quaid's putts in this movie.
That's exactly right. So, Randy, this movie isn't actually a theatrical one, which is a first for us.
No, it's not a first for us. We actually did one other TV movie, JD.
Well, this is not really a TV movie. It's a very specific...
It was a TV movie. We watched Psycho, the fourth one that was a TV movie.
Well, that was a TV movie. This is not really a TV movie. This is a HBO movie. And you have to be a certain age to understand what that entails. It's a very specific type of thing. Because back in the day, HBO was like, sort of like the pay-per-view network. The big thing, like, you have HBO? Or your parents rich? That sort of thing.
Did you know the genre for this movie is drama sport? Drama-sport?
Drama sport. Not just sport or drama, but drama sport.
Not drama and sport, no.
Yep, that's
So
right.
What's this movie about, JD?
It's about golf.
And all that entails, yes, it's about golf.
It's about Randy Quaid's character, who is apparently related to Burt Reynolds' character from another movie, though it's not mentioned.
Semi-tough, but
in this
only
movie.
in the books, not in the movie.
As he tries to understand how he can get better at golf and relationships.
Yeah, that's basically what the movie's about.
Pretty much the whole movie. And it's also got its soundtrack by Tangerine Dream.
Yeah, so the movie has been directed by renowned, notorious TV movie director Bobby Roth, who also wrote the script based on the book by Dan Jenkins by the same name. Mm-hmm. And stars Randy Quaid, Katherine Harold, Jack Warden, Corinne Bohrer, and Brett Cullen. Mm-hmm. With the soundtrack by Tangerine Dream.
Of course. You need that. That's how you know it's an 80s movie, when you get the Tangerine Dream soundtrack. And I was actually kind of surprised when I was watching it, because I was like, this feels like it should have been a theatrical movie. And maybe it was.
I don't really feel that much.
It feels more like a theatrical movie, especially with the nudity and the swearing that was there. Though again, that's...
Oh, you mean all three swears?
Which would have been enough to give it an R rating. You weren't allowed to swear at all on television back in the day.
And full frontal nudity from Veronica Mars' mother.
And no nudity at all. That would have been cut easily from the movie. Which is why I would have been curious about the production behind the movie, but like there's no real information on that, and it's never been re-released, so...
Yeah, this had a VHS release in 93, and then there's never been a DVD or a Blu-ray release of this film.
30 years ago.
It's not on any streaming. You're not going to find this on Tubi. You're not going to find this on HBO Max. You're going to find this nowhere. This is only on YouTube in a potato-ass quality VHS rip.
Yeah, 4x3 and everything. It's like... we were looking for movies for the sports. And like, hey, there's one from 1988, and it's a golf movie. Like, we got to go with that one, because there was nothing else at the time.
And it was the entire movie, too.
Us, unlike the other movie we watched.
The other movie that we tried to watch. And
we got 24 minutes in, and Randy figured out, oh, wait, there's only 24 minutes of this movie.
It's another movie that's not been re-released really on anything.
Yep. We'll get to that when we get to that one, though.
When I find the other half of the movie.
Yeah. So with this one, though, Randy, what were your general impressions of Dead Solid Perfect from 1988 from the HBO network?
God, it's hard to make golf entertaining to watch. I think
it's very difficult.
The most entertaining or interesting part of the movies was the drama relationship parts. Mm-hmm. And then whenever they got to golf, it's like, oh, come on.
Well, it's also that, too, you can't really see a whole lot, too.
Yeah.
Even quality aside, when golf balls get hit, they kind of, go far away. So you don't really actually see where they land. You see them go, and then you have to cut away to see where they land. So
let's put it this way. It was so boring, Jiggity, to watch the golfing sections that you were quoting Neo Turf Masters continuously for the last 20 minutes of the movie.
Well, because they were getting on the green, Randy. Or I should say on the gween, because that's how they say it.
We think they were getting on the green because you couldn't see the damn ball or the hole.
Well, it's also that the picture quality wasn't the greatest either, because you couldn't tell the fairway apart from the green because of the colors. But again, just kind of a product of its time on that aspect. Not a whole lot you can do about that. Yeah, I would say generally it's really difficult to make golf all that interesting. We've talked about this before, not so much on the podcast, but in other things. Like one of the whole reasons like Happy Gilmore stands out and is so memorable is because of how much comedy they get out of the game.
Yeah.
By deliberately playing it over the top. And that's why it stays memorable. It's really difficult otherwise. Because golf it's more fun to play than it is to watch. Most people, even who play it or enjoy it, will admit that. It's
How
really
about
difficult.
the energy of the announcers? I'm gonna start talking about as energetic as the announcers here.
Yeah.
Actually, I might be slightly too energetic because the pacing of my speaking is too fast for them.
Yeah.
Hello, I am Randy, and we watched golf.
Unfortunately, that's very accurate of actual golf announcers.
Oh God, I've never been a fan of golf. I'm sorry.
It's not the most fun game in the world to watch. And even in the movie, they did the best I think they could possibly do with it. As I said, even putting aside the fact it's a HBO movie, like, again, there's not a whole lot you can do to follow shots or show where they land without doing the same basic thing. They even tried, like, hitting out of bounds, sand traps, all kinds of... There's really not a whole lot you can do. It's just not. That's why there's even parts in the game where they, like, you'll go to the game, but it'll be maybe about a minute of the game where you just see a few shots, and then it'll just cut to the end of the game because there's not a whole lot you can do.
Will Kenny Lee make this putt?
Yeah, that's basically what you get a few times. There was a few times in the movie I remember where they just showed putt, 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 putt. They never even showed hitting, just the putts, because that's the only thing you could basically see.
We're on the 17th hole, and our two contestants are 7 under par and are currently leading the pack.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot you can really do with it. But again, I think they did as much as they could potentially do with it. Which I guess I don't know. I'll make that the negative of the movie, is just that, like, it's really difficult to make golf interesting.
Yeah, the negative of the movie is every single time they had the sport on the screen, I wanted to be elsewhere.
Yeah, it was like, there are parts of it where it's fine, like when they're in between the actual swings where they're just talking or discussing shots, or even when he was like training a little bit before and he's having a discussion with his caddy, stuff like that. But when they're playing the actual game, it's more just like, now here's a shot. Now here's another shot. Now here's the other guy's shot. Now here's his other shot.
And now
What's the
we'll
next
talk
hole?
to the caddy. Should I use a 5-iron or a wood?
That's like the most interesting part. There's like not a whole lot you can really do with it. And that would be the negative of the movie, is that it's really difficult to make golf interesting and engaging. And they didn't really do it that well.
And what's really sad is that we're saying this as part of this being a sports special, but it's so authentic to the game and the experience.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That it really makes you realize how boring golf is to watch.
Yes, like I said, it's difficult to really make it engaging. They did, I think, the best you could potentially do, which is like why I think Happy Gilmore deserves more credit than it actually does get, because it does make the game interesting, which is very hard to do. But like, they needed comedy for that. And this one, you don't really get the comedy, so they kind of had to play it straight. And
This whole movie is played straight. It's not a comedic movie. This isn't Caddyshack.
No, it's not a comedy. It's a drama. It's a sports drama or drama sport.
American drama sports film starring Randy Quaid.
And actually, I would say that's probably the positive of the movie, is that there is a lot of drama, and it's not very predictable drama. It's kind of, oh wait, what's going on now? What, they're doing this? They're going in this direction?
It's like, oh, okay, so, like, okay, I'm just going to read to you directly what the entire plot synopsis
Well, you might as well.
of Wikipedia is for this thing.
might as
Are you ready, JD? Mm-hmm. Dead Solid Perfect is a 1988 American drama sport film following the life of a professional golfer on the PGA Tour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it.
That's pretty much what it is.
And that's it. That's the entire plot of the film. And the positives, it's like the drama part of it is more entertaining than the sports drama. But then again, it's juicy drama. It's like, okay, him and his wife they're on the rocks, but they have a good relationship still going for it. He doesn't really seem to like the game that he's playing.
Yeah, that's part of the whole thing, is understanding why he's playing, how to play better, how to get his head in the game, how relationships affect how you play the game. Like I said, everything.
His friends are kind of like, one of them's not that bad, but the other one just sleeps around with everyone and has a wife in every city.
And they end up butting heads throughout the movie. Then they kind of reconcile a bit until he screws up again. It's like kind of like
by screwing his girlfriend.
It's kind of like real relationships in a lot of ways. Like a lot of it is just trying to understand like the mechanics behind the sport. Like all you see when you see the sport is guy hitting ball landing, guy putting ball into hole, and then you move on to the next hole. But a lot of it is,
and then what do you see in the drama is full frontal nudity.
It's like a lot of the nerves and the thought process behind the people who hit those balls into the holes. And there's a lot more of that goes into it than you might think on the surface, which is what makes the thing more interesting. It doesn't help the actual sport itself, mind you, but it does make the behind the scenes more interesting to watch. Also, the music is very exciting.
For a movie about golf, the music is very exciting.
Like several times I'm like, this is like a Double Dragon level. What is going on in this music? And he's just putting.
Oh no, he puts the ball into the hole, and then suddenly all he hears, oh, oh, oh. It's like, why is the ball ascending to heaven?
We're like, doom, 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 doom. Like, it's like, wow, that's intense music. Tangerine Dream for
Dream is the highlight of this film. That's what I'm going to say.
Oh, the soundtrack was really, really catchy, and it was very memorable, even during the games. Like, while you're watching it, you're like, this is kind of boring, but at least the soundtrack is really carrying it. I really want to hear where the soundtrack's going. But, like, as a whole, the game is definitely, I would say, the weaker part of the movie, though. I think it holds it back just because if you would have replaced the sport with anything else, it might have been more solidified, but I think it would have changed a lot of the dynamics of the relationships, because a lot of it is going on tour, going over here, leaving right after a tournament.
Yeah, the whole reason you left the tournament is like, you don't want to stay in town after you've lost in a tournament.
Yeah, there's a lot of behind the scenes, like, you know, what's the word? Mechanics at play, talking about how people in the sport operate. That stuff is pretty interesting. But again, the sport isn't really that interesting to watch. No matter what you do, it's like you can't get past that. And I think that at the end is going to end up holding it back, unfortunately.
And this might be one of our shortest episodes in a while, because there's not a lot you can say about a movie about golf.
There's not really a lot you can talk about, because like the most interesting stuff would be like talking about the relationship stuff, but then you just be describing the entire story, so there's no real point in doing that, because you just be like, he did this, but then she did that, and then he did this, but then
he slept with so-and-so, but she slept with so-and-so, and he slept with so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so at the same time, and then this one here.
Yeah, and a lot of it, like I said, is how that affects game performance, and there's also stuff like behind the game and all that. But then you get to the actual game itself, and everything slows down. And it just, when are we getting to the next part? But as a whole, like, I wouldn't call it a dead, solid, perfect movie. I think it's a solid movie.
I don't even think it's that solid of a movie.
I
I think there's a reason why this has never really been re-released outside of the HBO not releasing their originals that they used to do. And with that, I'm going to give it a 2. Like, I think that this has been forgotten and not been re-released because of the fact that it's not that great of a movie. It's not that memorable of a movie. It's not, it's not, as you said, dead solid perfect. It's not
dead solid perfect, unfortunately. But again, even thinking about it, I don't really know how you can make a golf movie all that interesting. Because there have been movies about golf. We've talked about one of them, but there's other ones as well. But all the time, it's not the golf itself that makes the movie interesting. It's everything else that makes the movie interesting.
And have you noticed that usually they're not done as... the ones that do work in golf, they're usually comedies.
Yes.
Like even Tin Cup
Yeah, that's
with
true.
Kevin Costner, which is in a very serious. Actually, is that even a golfing movie or is that an airplane movie? I can't remember.
Tin Cup, I believe, is it's a golf movie, but it's kind of a drama, sort of like Bull Durham, I guess. It's a bit
Yeah,
more
because I think it's by the
lighthearted.
same people.
I think that's how that works. But yeah, like the main problem is, and like this isn't exactly a controversial opinion. I'm pretty sure everybody, even people who like the sport, will admit golf is just not that exciting to watch, and it's hard to make it exciting to watch.
Oh yes, okay. So Tin Cup is a romantic comedy and sports film.
Yeah, I guess you have to add in something else because you can't just make it about golf.
So
It's just not that
basically
interesting.
the ones that are successful are the ones that mix it up with something else. So I'm assuming you're giving it a 2?
Yeah, I'll give it a 2 as well. I didn't hate it or anything. It was fine. Like I said, it's solid. Some people, I guess if you like golf, you might like it a little bit more, I would assume. But
And then I want to know what's wrong with you for liking golf.
but if for just general watching, I don't think most people would really get into this one. It's just kind of there. And as a whole, I would say it's okay. That's about as far as we can really say about this one, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was
not a lot.
underwhelmed.
There's not a lot to go into with this one. But it was a 1988 sports movie, so I guess might as well cover it while we can.
Yeah, we needed a sport. Did we watch anything else with golf in it? No,
No, this is the only one. And I guess there's a reason why it's the only one. Because it's just not that interesting of a sport.
And because Caddyshack didn't really fit our criteria.
Yeah, Caddyshack is another one, actually. That one, there's golf in it, but there's a lot more than that. And that's why that one works. And unfortunately, I guess in this case, not a whole lot. All right, everybody, that's it for this one. Not a whole lot to say about this, so we'll be moving on to our next one. We'll see you next time when we continue our cruise through our sports movie.
Summer sports special.
That's right. See you next time, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I saw a deer today.
What?
It dashed out of the mountains and then just ran right across the fairway.
Fuck a deer. Fuck a deer dashing out of the mountains and running across the fairway. Fuck Palm Springs. Fuck the desert. Fuck golf. Fuck me.
Does that mean I should start getting ready for dinner?